Okay. Let me just lower this. Okay. Everything seems to be fine. Is my mic on? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. So anyway, oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, no, I did turn it on. Okay. The audio is good. Stream's on. Everything seems fine. Okay. Let me just double check. Yep. Okay. Anyway, we are back. We're back. Some more Higurashi. Nakukoro ni Watanagashi. Not gonna spend too much time here. Let's just continue. The Watanagashi festival finally concluded. We got the creepy poem again after the festival, and I'm assuming things are going to start to look a little fucked up pretty soon. I think things are about to hit the fan. So, without further ado, let's just continue. I'm very excited because this is when these games start to get really, really good. Basically, during these moments. All right. Wow. Cool. Alright, this is the beginning of the next chapter after the Watanagashi festival. Ch.2, good morning. Rena was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy. What do you mean good morning? It's already evening. Just say hello or something. This is the first time I've seen you today, so I think good morning is right. Is it right? To be fair, I'm not good with saying good morning or afternoon or whatever. I just say whatever. I got it. Good morning, Rena. I grabbed Rena's head and rubbed it with my hand. She squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat. Yo, what's good? Sorry about yesterday. I left without telling you. No, it's my fault. Sorry for making you wait. Are you talking about setting up for the festival yesterday? How was it, Ch.2? Did you do your job properly? The slight muscle pain throughout my body and sluggish movements were already obvious. Pretty worn out too. I grinned dryly, and the three of us break out into laughter. Where's Satoko and Rika? Are we meeting up with them at the festival? Yep. Rika-chan's already been there since yesterday because she has such an important job. I think Satoko-chan stayed with her, so they're already at the shrine. Right, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She's been practicing especially hard these days for this day. As her friends, I need to make sure I went and cheered her on. Let's do this. Let's go to the festival. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. It began to get noisier too. I thought I could hear something like a bond dance song. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs. Which one is it? Oh yeah, right. Bro, you're running too fast. Slow down. Man, Kei-chan, you're such a little kid. Here we go. I wonder who these people are. After all these years, this background, I wonder how these people are doing. Whoa, the shrine grounds, they're packed with people. It was a festival. It was a festival if I ever saw one. They went all out this year. Sugoi.
南沢中から出てきてるんだろうな。
They're coming from Hinamizawa.
君吉本家の寝たきりじいさんまで来てるじゃない。
Nani? The bedridden old man from the Kimiyoshi branch family is here
あの
too.
じいさん、去年の渡流し以降、ずーっと布団の中で過ごしてたんじゃないかな。
I think that old guy went home from Watanagashi last year and stayed in bed ever since. Yeah, there's a lot of villagers here that I didn't really know. They must have all been pouring in just for today. Wow, imagine the time here, dude. when were these pictures taken? Like early 2000s, I assume? So interesting. Maybe even earlier, honestly. I actually don't know. I actually forgot when the first Higurashi came out. Specifically the very old one, not like the console version, like the very, very old one. Oh. It's Satoko-chan. Hey. Oh, there she is. The hell do you want, girl? Oh, if it isn't everyone. Yeah, you little shit. What do you want? Yes, hello to you all.
Yo, Satoko.
What's good?
今日はすごい人出だよな。はぐれて迷子になるなよ。
There's a lot of people today. Don't get lost in the crowd, okay?
誰が迷子になるんですの？
Who do you think you're talking to, idiot? Satoko 2 seems somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
あれ？リカちゃんは？まだ自由時間でしょ？
Yeah, where's Rika-chan? She has free time now.
村長さんたちと挨拶してましたけ
Rika
ど。
was giving her respects to the mayor and other
す
important
ぐに来
people.
るでございますわよ。
She shall come before long. I see, Rika-chan is the shrine maiden for today's festival after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the elders.
実に大変なのですよ。
Speak of the devil.
こんにちは。
Reading my mind as always. What's good, girl?
リカちゃん、お持ち帰り。
Oh wait, hold on. Let me see there we go. Cute. I actually like that face. That face on Rena, it actually looks pretty cute. This is really cute too. This one's cute. Yeah, I actually think the console one's the one I like the least. I actually like this face on Rena. It looks really nice actually. This one's very cute too. Rika-chan wore an immaculate shrine maiden outfit that looks fresh off the shelves. It was perfect fit for her. Somehow mystical. It's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit for her. Somehow mystical appearance.
どう？
How does it
丈
fit?
とか長すぎない？
Not too long, is
バッ
it?
チャからもしも袖がかかるようならって安全ピンを預か
My
ってきてるん
grandma
だけ
gave
ど
me some safety pins just in case it sleeps up too long.
大丈夫なのです。実に快適なのですよ。
I bet it's comfortable. I like loose-fitting clothes, so like stuff like that would probably be very comfortable. As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches. I always wanted to wear like a yukata or something like that. It's great. It's great. It's cute. How? There was approximately one person here getting a nosebleed from watching Rika-chan's move.
ケイチ君は可愛いと思わないかな。
Yeah, she's cute. She's cute. I wouldn't get a nosebleed for it, but yeah, she's
思
cute.
わないならレナノになっちゃうからお持ち帰り。
What? If you don't, then she'll be mine. I'll take her home with me.
すごく可愛いと思うぞ。
Yeah,
か
she's
なり
cute.
活かす。父兄
Totally
のふりを
cool.
して写真を撮りまくりたいくらいだ。
I think she's really cute. Too cool. Enough that I want to pretend to be her big brother or dad and take pictures
2
with
点
her.
から撮影して立体視
If
で
we
きる
take
よ
a
うにすれ
picture
ば
from two different
立
places.
体の生リカちゃんが自宅でいつでももとい眺め放題。
We can eat or rather stare at a real life Rika-chan at our house whenever we want. Wow.
いいねいい
Yo, quit being creepy. That sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just take her home. Rena's eyes and mine glittered with stars as our nose bled and we drooled. Oh my goodness. Both of you.
リカ、あいつらに近寄ると大変ですわよ。
Yeah, honestly, you should probably
地
stay
下
away
室
from
と
them.
かに閉じ込められるかもしれないのです。
Oh my god. Yes, or I might get locked away in some basement somewhere.
その割にはリカちゃん楽しそうだけど。
You look like you're enjoying it though, Rika-chan.
みーがひどいことを言うのですよ。
Me, you're being harsh. We all laugh together again.
じゃ、もたもたしないで祭りを回るかね。
Let's go to the festival.
リカちゃんの出番までそう時間がないでしょ。
There's not much time left until Rika-chan's big debut.
そうだな。よっしゃ行こうぜみんな。
Great. Let's go, everyone.
あ
Okay, I think I remembered incorrectly. Last time we were preparing for the festival. Now we're actually doing the festival. I think it's because a lot of the exposition that was being said was all in regard to the festival that I remembered we were at the festival for some reason, because I think that's how it was in the first game. They sort of gave a lot of exposition during the festival. Yo, I gotta admit, what's his name? What's his name? The fucking photographer guy. Oh my god, what's his name? Tomitaka. Tomitaka really doesn't have a lot of presence in the story. He had a lot more presence in the first one. I think it's because it's mostly focused on Shion and Mion. So I guess Shion took most of the screen time that he probably would have had. Yo, if it isn't the danger, the daughter of Sonozaki. Eat up. Yakisoba. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I had some yakisoba pan and that shit was too much. It's full of pork. That shit is too much. Like, I'm not the most healthy eater ever, but having like bread with like pasta as the sandwich filling is like so fucking weird. It was definitely way too much. We even put a fried egg, calamari. Got your old timer.
なかなか力作じゃないの。イカまで入れるとは今年は奮発してるね。
I like squid. I actually really like squid. I don't know if you guys are like fans of squid. I have like 2 friends who like very specifically hate seafood, so it's not very often I get squid, but I do enjoy squid from time to time. I actually really like eel. I think eel is really good. That's something that's a little not too many people eat.
へえ、美味しいね、美味しいね。
It's tasty. It's tasty.
イカってのは食ってもうまいが、それ以上に匂いが香ばしいんだよな。
The squid is delicious, but the aroma is just
軟骨
fantastic.
になりがちな歯ごたえも
wonderful.
実に見事に補ってる。
It's wonderful. Compensated for how soft it
イカ
tends
と
to
豚
be.
肉のボリューム感は実に素晴らしい。
There's a delightful amount of squid and pork in it too.
悪くない出来だ。
へえ、ケイちゃんって何気に料理番組の司会とかに向いてるね。
Yeah, I'm about to say freaking Gordon Ramsay over here.
ケイチくんが美味しそうに食べてると、なんだかいつもよりもずっと美味しそうに感じるもんね。
It's like a flavor explosion in my mouth.
俺はうまいものはうまいっていう主義なんだよ。
I don't discriminate among
だか
delicious
ら
food.
俺がうまいっていうものはとりあえず試してみる価値があると思うぞ。
So anything that I say is tasty has got to be worth trying out, right?
ではケイチ、この焼きそばの評価を改めてどうぞなのですよ。
On the
一言で
yakisoba.
言うとだ。
I do it in 2 words.
うまい。
Absolutely scrumptious.
胃袋がもう一つあるんなら迷わずもう
If
一つ
I had a
買ってるな。
second stomach, I'd buy another one right now. I've heard my 3-star rating. A whole line of people suddenly formed in front of the yakisoba stand.
お、すごいよ。ケイちゃんがあんまりにも美味しそうに言うもんだから。
That's amazing,
集
Kei-chan.
客効果バッチリだわ。やるね。
Wow, that's amazing, Kei-chan. Said it's so good that a little crowd started to form. Not bad. It was nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out of my chest and put on airs. Mm-hmm.
あら、そうなんですの？
Oh, is that so?
私も挑戦してみましたよ。
You'll get in line,
おじ
kid.
さん、たこ焼き一つくださいますこと？
Takoyaki. I actually have a friend who's also like super like a different friend from the anti-seafood people who are like who just hates takoyaki. Like, he gets so grossed out by takoyaki. Satoko bought a stick of takoyaki balls of fried octopus, then from the adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth.
どうかな、さとこちゃん。
Was it good?
美味しい評価が出るならレナも買うよ。
Rena will buy it too. Chomp chomp chomp, chew chew chew. Gulp. Wow.
あ、料理評論家の北条さとこ審査員のご感想をどうぞ。
Now it's time for Hinamizawa's very own food critic, Judge Satoko Hojo, to give her impressions. Yo, this shit whack? Oh, is it whack? I thought she was, though she was all for it a moment ago, Satoko hesitated to give her thoughts. Now, hey now, what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it in their mouth.
あれれ、レナ
Nani?
のは外れだね。
Rena got gipped.
僕のも外れです。
Mine's bad too. What the heck?
タコさんが入ってないのです。
What? There's no octopus in it. It's takoyaki vendor. Could it be some sort of summer festival only? Could it be some sort of summer festival only octopus-free takoyaki stand? An evil takoyaki stand that skims on octopus because they figured it would make them good money today.
あ、私のには入ってたわ。うん。タコが入ってる分には十分うまいよ。
このタコなしたこ焼きをどう美味しそうに解説すればいいんですの？
Yeah, how? What's the point of it then? Everyone wondered about that. Our quizzical looks seemed to be drawing equally dubious stares from the people in line.
こんなのはどうかな？
How about this?
たこ焼きなのにタコが入ってないからとってもヘルシー。
Takoyaki without octopus is really
タ
healthy.
コの嫌いな
Is
人
it
でも
really? It's
食べ
still
ら
like
れ
a
る
fried
美味しい
batter,
たこ
no?
焼き。
And even people who don't like octopus can eat this delicious. Well, okay, maybe that might be true, but the sauce is at least good. After hearing that, several surprised guests left the line. Oh, yo, that vendor must be pissed off.
じゃあ
Where was he?
次は私が挑
It had
戦す
the
るよ。
exact opposite effect.
こんなのはどうか
All
な？
right then,
たこ焼きな
I'll
の
give
に
it a
タコが入っ
try
てない
next.
からとっても。
小麦粉やネギ、紅生姜の味などの素朴さをしっとりと味わわせてくれる
Self-inspired
自
take
信
on
作。
takoyaki, in which you clearly taste the simple flavor of flour, green onion, and pickled ginger. Yeah, let's just
タ
say
コが
that's all
入
it
っ
is.
てない分だけ素材の味が程よく。
The unaffected taste is bolstered by the absence of octopus. It wasn't half bad, but after hearing that there's no octopus in it, caused even more people to leave
リ
the
カちゃん
line.
は何かいいコメントはあるか？
Rika-chan, any
率
good
直でいい
comments?
ぞ。
You could be honest.
これで400円は高い
Or
の
Jordan
で
is
す。
too much for this. Ooh, wait, did she throw it on the floor? Wait, hold on, let me see the, Damn, now that's a pout. Ooh, that's cute. That's a cute pout. Gah, that was so honest. Even more customers leave the line, dealing a lethal blow. There were other takoyaki stands around after all.
いやー、なんかその私らとんでもないことをしてるような。
Well, I mean, we might not want to be doing this.
ほら、さとこ、
Hey,
あ
Satoko,
んたが始めたことなんだから、ビシッ
started
と
all
ここ
this
で
to
逆転
give
さ
a
せなさい
great,
よ。
big turnaround.
無理でございますわ。
What the hell is she
タ
supposed
コ
to
の
do?
入っていないたこ焼きなんてどう褒めればいいんですの？
How do you expect me to lavish praise upon takoyaki without any octopus in it? Yeah, you idiot! Satoko angry outburst was the finishing blow.
お客さんみんないなくなっちゃった。
Yeah, no shit, they're all gone. Like, what do you mean?
おじさん睨んでる。
The guy's staring at us. Yeah, I'd be freaking pissed. But to be fair, why the hell is he selling it with no octopus? Why is that? Why is that? Come on. Sorry, there's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Keiichi Maibara, will lend a generous hand.
ケイイチならきっとなんとかできますですよ。
Keiichi, could you do it?
タコなしたこ焼き屋さんを助けてあげてほしいのです。
We want you to save the takoyaki vendor, who didn't put any
笑
octopus
顔で
in.
トゲのあることを言うな。
Don't smile as you say something so bitter.
まあわかった。
Alright, fine.
俺がプロの技を見せてやるからよく見てろよ。
This may be the only chance you'll see to This may be the only chance you'll get to see a pro at work, so watch carefully. I shoved a stick into an octopus-less takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. And before there wasn't any harsh octopus in it, but Mion had some in it. That was the important point.
このたこ焼き屋の親父さんは本当の意味でたこ焼きが好きなんだ。
The man who runs his takoyaki stand, he truly loves takoyaki in every meaning of the word. Wait, okay, why do we care so much about saving this guy's business if he's not even gonna sell quality food? Truly in every meaning of the word. No, could even be said that he adores it. Nani? Everyone gasped in surprise, including the takoyaki vendor who glared at
あの
us.
親父さんは本当にたこ焼きが大好きなんだ。
This man truly loves takoyaki.
大好きだからこそ。
And because he loves it, he doesn't want to create heartfelt, half-hearted random
そうだね。
ones.
親父さん。
Isn't that right? Well, if he loves it so much, why didn't he just stuff all of them then? The takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. Those watching were listening intently, wanting to know why octopusless takoyaki deserved such high rating.
でもケイチさん、そんなにたこ焼きが大好きならどうしてタコなしたこ焼きなんか作りますの？
Keiichi-kun, if you really love takoyaki that much, why did he make takoyaki without
たこ
octopus
焼き
at
に
all?
対する裏切りではございませんの？
Is he not betraying the very
そうだ
takoyaki?
な。
You
あ
may be
る意
right.
味裏切りだ。
In one sense, it is a betrayal.
これは親父さんにとっての
It's the
最
best
大限の
possible
妥協点なんだ。
compromise this man could
親父さんは
find.
今日だって本当のたこ焼きを作ってるよ。
This man is making real takoyaki today, as he always does.
それはこの中のほんの一つか二つでしかない。
However, only one or two of them on each stick are the real ones.
まあそうだね。
Well,
私の食べ
you're
た
right.
一つにはタコは入ってたし、
The one I ate had octopus in it.
タコが入ってる分にはそんなに悪い味じゃなかったよ。
And considering it didn't actually have it, it didn't taste bad at all, you know? Right.
それが本物のたこ焼きだ。
That was a bona fide
それ以外
takoyaki.
のたこ焼きは8個入ってなきゃたこ焼きじゃないという一般人の先入観への最大限の妥協なんだ。
And as for the ones, it was the biggest compromise he could make against the biases of the general populace, who all think that there needs to be 8 pieces on a stick, or else it's not real takoyaki.
ケイチ君の言う意
God
味が
damn,
わからない
homie
の
is really trying.
どうして本物は一つで他は偽
Keiichi, I
物
don't
なの
understand.
か
What do you
な？
mean? Why is one of them the real thing and the other ones are fake?
その秘密はタコにあるんだ。
The secret lies in the octopus.
このタコ、本物の明石のタコだね。
Mister, this octopus, it's true. Akashi octopus,
近
isn't it?
年、明石のタコの水揚げは激減して、とても高騰しているんだ。
In recent years, the number of octopus caught in Akashi has decreased, and their prices have risen
タコ焼きなんか
drastically.
にとても使えないような、とても高い値段になってしまってるんだ。
The prices are now so high that you wouldn't think of using them in takoyaki. The man who had been looking down this whole time mumbled.
そうよ。
What? Yes, you're right. I am a cheapskate.
明石のタコは
Akashi
すごく高い
octopus is
んだ
very
よ。
expensive.
でも親父さんは、明石のタコにこだわったんだ。
But this man absolutely had to have Akashi octopus.
安物のいい加減なタコを使えば、いくらでもごまかせるのに。
He could have bought much worse quality octopus for cheaper, as much as he wanted, and he would have still been able to fool
明
everyone.
石のじゃないのに明石という上りを立てて販売してるインチキたこ焼き屋はいくらでもあるのに。
Fooled everyone. There are plenty of other scam and takoyaki vendors who claim they are from Akashi, even though they're not.
親父さんはごまかさなかった。嘘をつかなかった。
This man wouldn't accept it. He
タ
wouldn't
コ
tell
は
lies.
明石。
Akashi, takoyaki. Oh wait, Akashi octopus are supreme.
この一点だけを堅くなに譲らなかったん
Homie
だ。
is bullshitting. Holy shit. He wouldn't tell lies. Akashi Octopus are supreme. He would never relinquish this one stubborn conviction.
親父さんはたこ焼きを愛してた。
This man loves
だから
takoyaki.
嘘をつけなかった。
He absolutely loves it. He loves it, brother.
でもどうしても一点だけ強いられる妥協点があったんだ。
Yet there was one point that he absolutely had to compromise on.
それは何ですか？
What might that be?
数さ、
What did he compromise? Tell me! The
たこ
number,
焼きってのは一船8個がポ
the
ピュラーだ。
popular opinion is the stick of the takoyaki should be 8 pieces on
いく
it.
ら本物の明石のタ
Even
コだ
if
から
it's
と
real
いって
Akashi Octopus, he
400円で
couldn't
1個だ
charge
けってわ
400
けにはいかないだろ。
yen for just one piece, could
でも
he?
8個にしなくては買って
If
も
he
らえない
didn't。have 8 pieces, nobody would buy them.
だから親父さんは涙を飲
This
んだ。
man wept over it.
本物のたこ焼きを一つ
In order
作
to
る
make
ため
just
に
one true piece of takoyaki,
残り
he
7個
wouldn't
に
ever let
嘘
himself
を
lie
つく
through
しかなかったん
the
だ。
other 7. Holy crap, H is really just going for it. Boom. Whoa, the octopus-free takoyaki vendor burst into tears. Burst into tears. I gently clap one of his shoulders.
みんなが何と言おうと、俺はあんたの純粋さを忘れない。
No matter what anyone else says, I will never forget how genuine you
あん
are.
たこそは本物のたこ焼き屋なんだ。あんただけがたこ焼き屋を名乗っていいんだ。
You are the only one in the world with the right to call himself that. Oh, wait. I'll never forget you are genuine, sir. A true vendor of takoyaki. You're the only one who can call yourself that. So is Keiichi literally just about to ruin the business of everyone else? Clap, 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 clap. As I embrace the shoulders of this man, shedding his manly tears. Those watching delivered a round of applause, moved by my
さあみん
speech.
な、
Everyone,
この本物のたこ焼き屋のたこ焼きをどうか食べてやってくれ。
I beg you, please eat some of the true takoyaki vendor's takoyaki.
こんな純粋な男を大事にしなくて、どうして本当のたこ焼き道が守れようか。みんなが食わないなら俺が食うぞ。
If we don't treasure genuine men like this, then how can we protect the true path of the takoyaki? If no one else will eat them, then I will eat them all. If this man has no fans, then I am dead.
見てた人たちがみんな並ぶよ。
Wow, your stupid story actually worked. Everyone's a sucker. Bro, everyone's a fucking idiot in this town. You know what? Everyone's a fucking idiot here.
ケイチくん、やったやった。
You did it, Keiichi. You scammed
たこ焼きが美
everyone.
味しそうに
You're
感
my
じたってよ
hero.
り、ケイちゃんの味演説が面白かったからだろうね。
Nice job, Keiichi. You perfectly scammed everyone. I think it's more than they thought. Kei-chan's propaganda speech was interesting rather than the takoyaki actually looked good. Yeah. It actually doesn't matter what you're saying. You could be talking completely out of your ass, so long as you sound kind of compelling, then everyone will be like, wow, we love this guy. He's our hero.
ケイちゃんってガマの油売りとかやったらかなりウケるかもしれない。
Kei-chan, you could probably sell plain old rocks if you tried. Yeah, you could probably do that, honestly.
スーパーの実演販売でもやればウケそうですよ。
You would do well and protect at product demonstrations in a supermarket.
怪しい万能包
Oh
丁
god, I
を
never
つける
stop to
仕事
look
に
at
向いて
those.
そうですわね。
Those are always a waste of time. I suspect he would be good at selling off suspicious wonder knives. Absolutely stunned at my successful pitch, the guy manning the stall next to this one called out to me. Oh god, does he want you to sell his shit too?
おいおい兄ちゃんたち、うちのあんず飴も頼むよ。
Hey, you guys, do that for me. Do that for my sweets too. Great, you all get the gist of it,
今
right?
度はレナが行け。
It's your turn this time, Rena. Bruh, Rena ain't selling shit.
頑張るよ
She ain't selling shit, brother.
は
Okay, I'll do my best.
うアンズ
Yeah.
飴が冷えててとっても美味しいんだよ
When apricot sweets are cold, they're very, very good.
水飴の上にねちょこんってあんずが乗ってるの
The apricot is sitting so quietly and nicely on top of the syrup.
かわいいね
It's so
お
cute.
持ち帰りは
I want to take it home. Girl, what the fuck? I want to take it home. It looks like she lost herself in this midway through, but a girl giving it such natural praise was itself bringing in some customers. So Rena's just cute and she attracts people who like cute. Okay. A line was quickly formed behind Rena.
今度はお好み焼き屋だ。
Up next is okonomiyaki. That's the like, what is that? What is okonomiyaki? I forgot. That's also that should also be what's it called? Oh god, what's it called? Octopus, right? That is also octopus. I'm assuming. I think.
サトコ行け。
Satsuko, you're up.
えっと
Rather well.
焼きそばに揚げ玉入りでカリカリなのがとっても美味しいでございますわね
The crunch of fried tempura batter mixed with yakisoba is simply to die for.
大きなベーコンが丸ごと敷いてあってかじるとほらピローンって出てきてはっはっは
Chomp, 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 chomp.
おう
Oh, yeah, what'd you say? Simply to die for, with a huge piece of bacon laid on top. When you bite into it, it all comes flooding out. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
うまいうまい。
Yeah, that's freaking great. I love it. I love getting scammed.
それなら俺も食ってみたくなる。
Yeah, that's freaking great. Now I want to try some too. Then a huge line formed at my words. What on earth is this? So basically, all the onlookers are just following us around to all the stands.
みんな
Wow.
のを聞いてから食べるといつもよりずっと美味しく感じるからなのですよ
When people hear about food from others and then try it themselves, it tastes a lot better than it normally would. That is true. And also, people are easy to scam apparently. So that's it. Even Rika-chan was gorging herself on food, getting sauce on the bib she put on to preserve her shrine maiden outfit from getting dirty.
よーしおじさんも盛り上がってきたよ
Yeah, the older guys are getting into it too.
よしケイちゃん私はどれだ
Dun, 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 dun. Nice, the older guys are getting into it too. Okay, Kei-chan, which one should I do?
ミオはさらにその隣の露店へ行け。ミオンの底力を見せてみろ。
Right, Mion, you stand next to that. Show them the depths of your power.
あれでもケイチくんお隣のお店は
But Kei-chan, the stall next to that is, whoops, a goldfish scooping stand. A bit out of our element.
いや部活の部長たるもの相手が何であれ逃げられないね
No, as close president, I won't flee no matter who or what my opponent
やってみ
is.
るよ
Let's get started.
ミオンさんのお手並み拝見でございますわ
I look forward to a splendid performance, Mion-san. The onlookers were watching Mion with hopeful eyes.
いらっしゃい。
Welcome,
はいよ
welcome.
網とワン。
Here's your net and bowl.
よしやるぞ
Okay, here we go.
金魚はみんな生きがいいね
The goldfish are energetic
実
today.
に美味しそう
They really look delicious.
この小さいのなんか
Small
そのま
things
ま
like
ゴリゴリ
these,
と
you
生
could
でい
crush
け
them
ちゃうよ
down
ね
whole. Mutter, mutter, mutter.
ミオンさんは何を言ってるんでございますか？
Wait. These goldfish are energetic today. They really look delicious. Small things like these, you could crunch them down whole. Mutter. Mion, what in the world are you
み
saying?
ーちゃん食べてたの？
Girl, you eat live fish,
去年
goldfish.
レナからもらったのも食べちゃったの？
Did you eat one Renachin cod last year too?
違う。私そんなこと言ってない。
No, I didn't mean anything like that. Mion's face went bright red as she shook it vehemently in
いや
denial.
でも今ミオンお前自分で言ったぞ。
Well,
実に美味しそうだって。
I mean, you just said so yourself that they really look delicious.
ええ、確かに言いました。
Here she is. Hold on. I'm about to get jump scared. Let me see if the jump scare is there. Okay, no. Yes, you did indeed
お
say
姉って
so.
雑食ですから、口に入れば何でも食べちゃうん
My
です。
sister's omnivorous. She eats anything that she can get that can go in her mouth. Hey, yo, homie.
美味しいなら今度僕も試してみるのです。
If it tastes good, maybe I'll try one next time. Poisoning the child's mind.
お腹壊しちゃうよ。
You'll get sick. Wait a second. Hey, what the hell? Shion, how long have you been there?
はーい。ケイちゃんにお姉にみんな、こんばんは。
Good evening. Oh my god, freaking Mion's voice actress.
どこから湧いてきたのしよ
Where'd you come from, Shion?
焼きそば屋さんの時からずっとです。
I've been here since the bid with the
お
yakisoba.
姉たちは騒がしいからすぐに見つけられました。
You were all so loud that I found you right away.
もう、
Jeez.
あんたは関係ないでしょ。
You got nothing to do with this, do you?
早くどっかへ消えなさいよ。
Go somewhere else already. Oh my god, she's so antagonistic.
も
It's kind of cute.
う、お姉もあまり私を邪険にしないでください。
Jeez, Mion, don't treat me so cruelly.
ね、ケイちゃん。
Right, Kei-chan?
私が一緒でもいいですよね。
You're okay with me being here, right? Whoa! Yo, girl! Holy shit. She asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her chest into it. Bounce. Holy shit. Oh my god, girl. Dude, I'm freaking out, bro. There's a girl right next to me. Oh my god.
ケイチくん、
Okay,
鼻
you
血出てるよ。
You pervert. Your nose is... Yo, shut up. Oh my god. God forbid I'm attracted to girls. I ain't a
この点を
perv.
押したらニューって出てくるだろ。
Whoa! Okay, you know what? He is a pervert. When you squish a jelly donut, the jelly comes out,
あれ
right?
と同じだ。
It's the
こ
same.
れは抗いようのない
This
現
is
象
something I
なん
have
だよ。
something I have any control over.
へえ、そうなんですか。
Is that right?
じゃあ、力を入れたらもっと出てくるかな。
Whoa! Yo! Oh my god. Yo, okay, I was making jokes, but like, I think they are perverts.
ぎゅ
Woo! Woo! Shion, her cleavage, it's right up against my chest. What drip? Don't drip, you idiot! What the fuck are you doing? Stop dripping! What the fuck is happening? That's my reaction. Okay, you know what? Reasonable response.
あんたこら、何やってんの。
Actually, what the fuck are you trying to do, girl?
不潔ですわ。
How long? Yeah, I was gonna say there's children here. Yo, Shion is too much. I can't with fucking Shion, bro. Lock her up, bro. Lock her up. She's a menace.
見損ないましたよ。
It seems I have misjudged you. Wait, who? Keiichi or her?
僕の平らなお胸ではどう
What
な
about
の
my
です
flat chest? Oh my goodness. You're poisoning the youth. Oh my god, and Rika-chan came in. Rika-chan clapped onto my other arm too. Rub. Plentiful plump feeling on my left arm and the sour sensation of a young unripe fruit on my right. Wait, who was on the left? Wait. She grabbed my arm and pushed her into the bounce. Okay. Gee. Because which one's he describing? A plentiful, plump feeling on my left shoulder, so she's on her left, and a sour sensation of a youth, unripe fruit on my right. What a description. Boom, 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 boom! Who the fuck beat him up? Was it Mion? Boom, boom, bang! Shion, Rika-chan, and I, our faces were bruised. Holy shit! Fell to the ground, limp, sprawled. Holy crap! Wait, was it Mion and everyone else, or was it just Mion? Because they beat the shit out of everyone.
よくやったレナ。
Oh, it was Rena. Oh shit!
みんな不潔なんだよ。
Everyone's so dirty. You perverts, all of you are perverts in public too. That makes you ever
レナに
extra pervert.
殴られたのです。
Damn, yeah. Did Rena ever punch Rika? I don't think so. Damn, the full force of Rena's
痛い
punch.
のですよ。
It really hurts.
リカは自業自得でしたよ。
You get what you just. I'll tell you what you get. You get what you fucking deserve. Sheesh. Now that Shion was here, the energy around us had increased by 120. I need like the Jujutsu Kaisen split screen. And it's like they reached 120% of their power. Now that you 100, that's actually, yo, freaking Gege over here is a fucking like rip-off artist, bro. He's a fucking hack. He stole it from Higurashi. I should have known.
お姉の友達は実に愉快です。
Your friends are so much fun, Mion.
退屈しないな。
I never get bored of them.
ああ、そう。
Right.
あんたさえいなくなればもっと愉快なんだけどね。
If you weren't here, it would be way more fun, you know. Damn, yo, get the fuck out of here, girl. Get out of here. No one likes you.
もっと一緒にいたいけど、あんまりケイちゃんを誘惑すると、本当にお姉に噛みつかれちゃいそうです。
I want to stay here with you all, but if I continue seducing Keiichi-kun, my sister's looks like she literally go to bite my
だ
head
から
off.
私、一時退却しますね。
So I'll retreat for now. Okay, there it is. Like, bro. Dude, it's so sinister. It's so sinister compared to these two, which just look more playful.
また来ます。
I'll be back.
じゃあね、お姉。
See you, Mion.
二度と来るな
Don't come back, bitch. Freaking drown.
ー。負けしよ
I hate you. Someone get the salt. After teasing her older sister so much, Shion ran away into the crowd of people and disappeared.
なんだか珍しいミオンさんを見た気がしますわ。
Alright, wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Someone's calling me. God damn. See, that's what happens when you do people favors. They take up your time. God damn. Okay. Well, I guess I'll add a timestamp to the stream. That way people can just like go, okay, we're skipping forward. Skip forward. How long was I gone? Oh my god, like 10 minutes pretty much. That's crazy. Okay. Either way, I'll add a timestamp in the description or whatever in the comment. That way people just skip around. Okay. Going back to the game. Wait, I need to unmute the game. I need to unmute. Oh wait, the game's already unmuted. Wait, did I have the game unmuted the whole time? And everyone was like hearing like some whack ass musical mix of like the music I had in the background and like this. Oh god. Oh well. When Michan is with Shi-chan, she looks kinda cute. Oh, cute! Rena smiled happily, earning her a whack on the head from Mion. Don't say dumb stuff. Let's go to the next stand already. Mion is cute. I don't care what anyone says, she's cute. Went about just like that, really noisy and lively, to the other stand. We were paying money towards the beginning, but midway through, the guys running the shop thought we were just too funny, and we ended up being able to fool around without paying much more. The vigorous sound of the big taiko drum echoed through the air. Rika, looks like it's time. Yep, looks like it. Right, it's just about time Rika-chan to appear in the right, it's just about time for Rika-chan to appear in the offertory dance. I'm a little nervous. Believe in yourself. Date bayo. Believe it. All your sweat will definitely amount to something, Rika-chan. All of your sweat. That's some way to put it, I guess. Here, hold on. Let me just listen to the audio real quick, just to make sure if it's good. Yeah, the audio's good. Okay, just needed to check real quick. Date bayo, Rika-chan. Date bayo. No, wait, that's believe it, like, believe in me, I think. Ah, whatever. Mion slapped hard on Rika-chan's back. Oh god.
とやり遂げますわ。
You're right. You'll do fantastic. What did you say?
頑張るのですよ。
I'll do my best.
その意気だよ。
Yeah, that's the spirit. I ball my hands into a fist and race it to the
応援
air.
してるぞリカちゃん。ファイトオンだぜ。
We're rooting for you, Rika-chan. Go for it. Yay! Remember. Rika-chan gave the best smile I ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off.
じゃあ私たちも行こうよ。
そう
Should
だ
get
な
going too.
応援してやろうぜ。
Right, let's cheer her on.
ダメですのよ。
いません。
演舞中は静かにしていないといけませんでござい
You
ま
must
す
keep
よ。
silent during the performance. I got it. Jeez, I rubbed my hand through her hair. She was worried about her good friend up to the end.
なら急いで行かないと。
Then
いい
we
場所
better
がなく
hurry.
なっちゃうよ。
All the good spots will be taken. Let's go. Mion ran off and everyone else followed a moment later. A large amount of people had already clustered into the tight space to watch the edifying dance.
こりゃすごい人出だな。
Wow, it's a lot of people. There's like no one here, bro. What the hell are you talking about? This place is empty. I turned around and looked at everyone else. Nobody was there. Where did everybody go? They probably got lost amongst all these people. Finally, I spotted the back of Mion's head on the other side of the crowd. It definitely doesn't look like I can get over there. Well, we got separated, no big deal. We could just meet back up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around trying to look for a place where I could be able to see better. It didn't take long for me to realize I had settled for watching between the heads of the people in front of me, though. I forgot, in the first game, did he actually like meet up with what's her name? Rena? Was he was next to Rena, no? And they were like explain, or I think that might have been after, actually. I don't think that was during during that part. Thump. Once again, an even louder taiko drum resounded. This one was to announce the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elder, who were in priestly garb. I heard low exhalations and of admiration, and the senior rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone heads were in the way, and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. We should have cut playtime short and come here to get a good spot earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to a pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then the soulman offertory dance began. She had practiced using a mochi pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival hoe Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down, I was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved, raised and dropped it again and again. I couldn't even deal with it, and doing it grudgingly. I don't know how to say it. As a shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. Solemnity? Jeez, what are these fucking words? I might be bad at reading. Hold on, let me see. Grudgingly? Oh, grudgingly. She couldn't deal with it and do it grudgingly? That just seems like a weird sentence. She couldn't handle it and did it grudgingly. I don't know. This sentence just seems kind of weird. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulder right now. Damn, why am I cheering her on from such a... Why am I cheering for her on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend, so I should be right up in the best spot rooting for her.
ケイちゃん、こっちこっち。
Over here. Okay. So it's Shion this time. Someone tugged lightly on my back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She was beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. She had a mischievous grin on her face, and I took it as her saying she knew a good place nobody else knew of.
シオンなんだなんだ
What's up? Shut up.
黙ってついてきてくださいね。
Just be quiet and come with me. After she told me so, she ran into a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have someone who knows the layout of the land here at times like this. Impressed though I was, I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so that I wouldn't be left behind. As I wandered in anticipation what kind of secret spot Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around the back of the shrine grounds.
おいおいどこ行くんだよ
Wait, where are we going?
じゃあどんどん離れちゃってるぞ
We're getting further and further away.
黙ってついてくればわかりますから。
Just stay quiet and follow me. You'll understand soon. Shion gave me a wink and reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people. Not much moonlight. It was dark. We had gotten pretty far from the crowd and the people on the shrine grounds. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan stand from here?
そっかどこか高いところがあるんだな
Keiichi's so naive, but I kind of like it. There's some high spot around here, isn't there?
屋根の上とかそういうところから
Like a
見下ろそうって
rooftop
言うだ
or
ろ
somewhere we can look down on, look down at it, right?
はい。なんで屋根に登んなくちゃいけないんです？
Why do we have to climb over onto the roof?
だってそうじゃなかったらどうやってリカちゃんの演舞を見るんだよ
Well, how else are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance?
リカちゃまの演舞なんか見たかったんですか？
Did you really want to see Rika-chama's
ケイ
dance?
ちゃん、ひょっとしてストライクゾーンものすごく低くありません？
Wow, could it be that your strike zone is really low?
なんだか話が微妙に噛み合わないぞ
I don't think we're understanding each other
お
here.
前は俺をリカちゃんの演舞がよく見える場所に案内してくれるんじゃないのか
Weren't you going to show me somewhere I could see Rika-chan's dance from easily?
はい。誰もそんな約束してませんよ。
What? Who made that Nya! What's going on? Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault? Am I just reading the wrong things into it?
じゃあお前は俺をなんでこんなところに呼び出したんだよ
Then why did you call me all the way out here? With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index fingers to her lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is dark, dead, empty spot. You can see it from the festival grounds, and now a male and female of the same age are all alone together." Aya! Could this be Shion? She's not planning on something crazy again, is she?
あれを見てください。
Look over there, see? Shion whispered, pointing into the dark underbush. And there I saw 2 fingers, 1 male and 1 female.
なんだありゃ
What's that?
まさか
Is that
相敵の生現場に決まってるじゃない
right at the scene of the rendezvous, of course?
よく見てください。
See, look closely.
誰だかわかります？
Can you see who they are? I peered intently into the dark of Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomitaka-san and Takano-san. The 2 of them clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure nobody knew where they were. As they crouched before the entrance into the wooden storehouse-like building.
まさ
Storehouse-like
かシ
building.
オンこれを見せたくて俺を呼んだのか
What, could this be what you wanted to show me?
ケイちゃん、リカちゃまの演舞は毎年見られるけど、こういうのは二度とお目にかかれませんよ。
Whoa, what the fuck are we looking at? What are they gonna do? Kei-chan, you can see Rika-chama's dance any year, but you won't ever get to another chance like this, okay? I had thought the Sonosaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this, they seem all too
俺
similar.
帰るぞ二度とこんなのに呼ぶなよな
I'm going back. Don't call me for something like this again.
今動いたらバレちゃいますって。
If you move, they'll see us. At our noisily argument, Takano-san suddenly turned around.
あらあら、どなたかしら？
Oh my, who might that be? We held our breaths and tried to wait it out, but it seemed like Takano-san was all now acutely aware of our presence. Chio and I exchanged glances and gave up and climbed out of behind the bush.
どうも、こんばんは。
Hello there.
お月様の綺麗ないい夜ですね。
The moon sure is beautiful tonight, isn't it?
あらあら、しおんちゃんに前原くんじゃない？
If it isn't Shion-chan and my buttercup.
こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
Yes, the moon certainly is pretty.
おやおや、ケイチ君も隅に置けないね。
Keiichi-kun, you sure are smart, you know that.
こんなところで相引きかい？
Having a secret date in a place like
だと
this?
したら、僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。あははははは。
Then I guess we accidentally interrupted something important. Ha ha ha. Is that a different voice actor? Is this the same guy?
あらあら、しおんちゃんに前原くんじゃない？こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
You're the ones who were meetings. You were the ones who were meeting secretly. Hold on, is that?
おやおや、ケイチ君も隅に置けないね。こんなところで相引きかい？だとしたら、僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。あははは。
That sounds like a different voice actor. That does not sound like the first voice actor. I need to hear him talk some more, because that sounds very different. Tomitaka-san and Takano-san laughed out to themselves, and it got on my nerves for some reason. Yeah, because people laughing at you, that shit pisses you off.
相引きしてたってわけじゃないみたいですね。
Wait, so you two weren't having a little rendezvous then?
それはもちろん違うよ。
Of course we weren't. Bro, I don't like her. I swear.
そういうロマンスも嫌いじゃないけどね。
Fuck. God damn, bro, that face. I can't get over it. Of course we weren't. Though I don't dislike that kind of romance.
残念だけど、あなたたちが覗き見したくなるような相引き現場じゃないのよ。
Unfortunately, this wasn't the location of a rendezvous either of you would want to see. Hold on, I am not a peeping Tom, alright? I'm not here gonna spy on you guys doing whatever you need to do. If I was in this situation, I would just walk away. I'm okay with giving people their privacy.
期待に添えなくて申し訳ないわね。
It's perfectly fine, ma'am.
ふん。
Nani?
相引き現場じゃなかったら何してるんですか？
If this wasn't a rendezvous, then what were you doing?
富武さん、今扉の南京錠をいじってませんでした？
Tomitaka-san, were you messing around with the padlock on the door just now? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of the warehouse door, fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
バレちゃしょうがないな。
All right, wait, is this about the tools? Like, I remember them talking about the tools that they used that were, like, gone, basically, or, like, something like that. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, there was, like, the mystery of the missing tools. God damn, she was, like, fucking conniving sometimes. We were trying to break into the warehouse, but don't tell anyone, alright?
内緒って、それ、泥棒ってことですか？
Are you guys trying to steal? That stealing's bad. I demanded unthinkably. I demanded unthinkingly. Some of these words are just like fucking weird. Just because of how absent Tomitaka-san was grinning.
いやーね。
Nah, never.
泥棒ってのは物を盗む人たち
These
の
are
ことで
people who
し
steal
ょ。
things,
別に
right?
私たちは
It's not like we were
物を
going.
持ち出そうとしているわけじゃないのよ。
It's not like we were trying to take anything out of there.
へえ。じゃ
I
あ
see.
何のために鍵開けなんかしてるんですか？
Then why were you trying to unlock the door?
開かずの細具殿ですよね。
This is a forbidden storehouse for ritual
フルデ
tools.
家とほんの一握りの人間しか入ることが許されないっていう。
They say only the Furuta family and a mere handful of others are allowed in. Forbidden storehouse. I took a step away and at that and looked on the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one built removed from a sign of people. Built removed from any sign of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened. And it was built to be durable, given its strange, overpowering impression. Now that I was looking more closely, it was certainly different than any normal warehouse.
ここはね、細具殿といってね。
They're called ritual implements.
細具をしまっている倉庫なの。
Basically, it is a warehouse where they store such tools used in rituals.
細具を祀っている神殿と言ってもいいかもしれないわね。
More accurately, maybe it's a temple where an implements are
リ
enshrined.
カちゃんが奉納演舞で使っている祭事用のクワも、今日までこの中にしまわれていたものよ。
The ritual hoe Rika-chan is using for her offertory dance was inside here until
も
today.
ちろん、フルデ家の人間以外は、
Of course, if anyone but the Furuta
汚れを
family
持ち込めたら
enters,
立ち入り禁止の不可侵領。
they'd bring impurity into it. So absolutely no one is allowed a single step
聖
inside it.
域なの。
It's a sanctuary. Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression on an innocent smile at best, and terribly cool grin at
私
worst.
ひなみ沢の昔語りや伝承を趣味で研究してるって言ったわよね。
I told you, I was researching Hinamizawa folktales and legends out of an interest in them,
私
didn't I?
の知的興味のさまざまな答えがこの中に詰まってるの。
A lot of answers to question I'm curious about are hidden away
この
inside
中に
here.
入れるチャンスを今日までずっと待ってたんだから。
I've awaited all this time until today for this chance. A chance? Everyone's eyes were fixated on a dance at the shrine's ground today. This was the ultimate blind spot.
へえ、
Oh, I
富武
see.
さんに鍵開けの技術があるなんて知りませんでした。
I didn't know you had a lockpick skills, Tomitaka-san.
あ、よしてくれよ。
Stop
僕だっていやいややってるんだよ。
I don't want to be doing this, okay?
付き合わせてしまってごめんなさいね。
Sorry for taking you along with me, but
二郎さんのおかげよ。
this was all thanks to you, Jiro-san.
感謝してるわ。
Really,
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
でも
Sheesh.
高野さん、こういうのはこれっきりにしてくれよ。
This is the only time, understand,
こういう
Takano-san?
ところに黙って入り込むのは、やっぱり気が引けるよ。
I don't want to be sneaking into places like this.
やっぱり二郎さんはいい人ね。
You really are a good person, Jiro-san. Kirk, click. Tomitaka-san undid the padlock and placed it to
Hi
the
there.
side. It's open.
ありがとう。
Thank
いよ
you.
いよね。
Long last. Takano-san gulped with an unusually excited air about her. She gave the heavy door a shove, and a sharp smell of mold dust flowed out from the gap in the door. I had claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation, I could believe in them. If we went into such a holy place with our shoes on, it felt like we could be punished somehow. How
あ
about
なた
it?
たちも共犯なんだし。
You're
せっか
accomplices
くだから
too.
一緒に見学しない？
You came all the way here, so why not come in and take a
ひな
tour?
み沢の皮脂を埋める。
It'll be a little
貴重
field
な
trip
文化遺産の
to a
見物
museum
だよ。
of precious cultural artifacts that conceal the secret history of
今日だけ
Hinamizawa.
の限定会館。
And it's only open today.
別に俺たち共犯ってわけじゃ。
We're not accomplices or anything.
面白いと思いません？
Aren't you interested though?
ねえ、覗いてみましょうよ。
Come on, let's take a peek. Shion-san predictably linking her arms into with mine.
これは絶対いけないことだよ。
We definitely shouldn't
神
be
聖な
doing
倉
this.
庫なんだろ？
This is a holy warehouse, isn't
細
it?
具殿って言ったっけ？
You said ritual implements,
ま
right?
すます勝手に入っちゃまずいよ。
I really feel we shouldn't go in.
私は一応園崎の人間ですから、この中にあるものはおおよそ想像がついてます。
I'm a part of the Sonozaki family, so I have a good guess on what we'll find in
で
there.
も、それはケイちゃんにも見てもらいたいものです。
But I want you to see it too, Kei-chan.
俺に見てもらいたいもの
You want to show something to me? I thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eye looked entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy too. My curiosity at least was twice that of a normal person. Ooh, Cage is a curious boy. Sleeping, forbidden treasures. Never leave this warehouse. Chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then I want to see. Until the locked door is open, though.
面白くないって思ったら、ケイちゃんはすぐに出ればいいです。
If you're not interested, Kei-chan, then you can leave
き
now.
っと興味を惹かれると思いますけどね。
I think you'll wonder about it later, though. Tomitaka-san spoke, listening to our discussion himself, having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest.
僕がここで見張っててあげるから、
I'll keep watch here.
一緒に見てきてごらん。僕はあまり趣味じゃないけど、
Go in and check it out with them. I'm not too
ケイチ
interested.
君みたいな若い男の子には結構面白いかもしれないよ。
But it might be pretty interesting for a young guy like you, Keiichi-kun. He said, laughing mischievously. There was no ill will in his
富武さん
laughter.
はこの中に何があるのか知ってるんですか
Tomitaka-san, do you know what's in here?
ま
Do
あ
you know
ね、
what's in here? Kind of.
高野さんにたっぷり聞かされてるからね。
Takano-san told me all about it.
相方の特殊な趣味に付き合わされる殿方も大変ですね。
Must be a pain to have to go along with your companion's unique hobbies, huh? Tomitaka-san didn't answer that, only responded with a pained smile. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she'd drop absolutely everything else for something she had an interest in and go straight for it, but Tomitaka-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me so frankly, go check it out, suddenly made the guilt feel
じ
lighter.
ゃあちょっとだけな
Okay, but just a
面
little.
白くなかったらすぐ出るぞ
Oh my god, give me 1 second. Okay. Hopefully they don't make any more noise. Okay, but just a little. If it's not interesting, I'm leaving. Okay, but just a little. If I'm not interested in leaving. You got it. Shion gave me another Mion-like
決まっ
wink.
たみたいね。
Looks like we're decided.
行き
Shall
ま
we
し
go
ょうか。
inside?
ジローさん、留守番をお願いね。
Jiro-san, we'll leave this to you. Tomitaka-san waved his hand to see us off. The inside was pitch black, but Takano-san turned on the battery-powered lantern she brought, revealing a pretty cramped front room.
真っ暗だね。
So dark in
み
here.
んな転ばないように気をつけるんだよ。
Everyone, take care not to trip
ご
over
心
anything.
配ありがとう。
Appreciate the concern.
じゃあ、門番をよろしくね。
Okay, doorman, keep a good watch.
ここ、閉めるわよ。
We're shutting the door now. Wait, we have to shut the door? What the hell? Bro, I don't think that's necessary. Let me just check something. Okay. Takano-san smiled spitefully, as if leaving Tomitaka-san out of something fun, and began to close the door. Yare, yare.
じゃあみんな、ゆっくり楽しんでおいで。
Alright, everyone have fun. Dude, you could come in too. We're all accomplices, apparently. There was a low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. Oh, where the hell's the... There it is. Okay. Darn. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
大丈夫よ。
Oh, God. It'll
予
be
備電
fine.
池も入ってるアウトドア仕様なんだから。
It's an outdoor lantern with a backup battery inside.
消えたりなんかしないわよ。
Won't go out or anything. Well, good. I mean, what kind of cheap-ass lantern will go out in like 5 minutes? I doubt we're gonna be here for like 2 days or anything. Looks like Takano-san noticed my uneasy expression. I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there was a heavy and old but sturdy door with a solemn decoration on it. It was the last door sealed away that was within.
ただの倉庫なのに前室があるなんて変わってるでしょ。
Strange how it had an at chamber even though it was just a warehouse, isn't it?
一度に1枚ずつ扉を出入りさせることによって細具殿の中が外に見えないようにする工夫だと考えられるわね。
I believe it's set up this way so that you open the door at a time, never letting the room with all the tools be seen from the outside. Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it really dark in here. Huh? That over there, it's... I spot a circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wire clumsily attached to the wall.
あ、これ明かりのブレーカーか何かじゃないです
here.
か？
Isn't this a light switch or something? I flipped the biggest switch I could find, and with a click, the pitch black room was illuminated by an old bare light bulb. Everyone scrunched up their faces at the sudden strobe of light. Don't! Before she finished, Shion slapped my hands and flipped the switch back. There was another loud click and the room returned to darkness with only the lantern illumination. Ow,
ダメ
ow.
ですケイちゃん。私たちここに忍び込んで明かりなんかつけたらバレちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
Yeah, that is true. I was about to say, like, why are you turning on the light? We snuck in here, remember? If you turn on the light, it might give us away. I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light.
大丈夫よ。
It's alright.
本当に一瞬だし。
It was only for a moment. Takano-san remained a relaxed adult. It seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see us.
入りましょう。
Let's go in.
しょっと。
Here we go. There. The even heavier door opened, and this time it wasn't just the dust that came out of the air. There was also a nasty smell. One smell was like opening the dust-filled cupboard in the back of the kitchen that hadn't been opened in years. And the other smell, the nasty one, was hard to explain, but it was like the raw odor of a fish market. Is there a body in there? Like, what the fuck? Is there like a rotting body in there? From how the sound echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. Takano-san held her lantern and revealed the content of the expensive room. Whoa! All the back walls of the storehouse right in front of us was a Buddha-like holy object standing there, looking down on us. I was taken aback, and it was so by its unseen force, it lit up by the shoulder beam of the lantern.
あれがひなみ沢の守り神、お社様。
Oh shit, that's the guardian god of Hinamizawa, Yashiro-sama.
社にあるのよりずっと立派ですね。
It's far grander than the one at the shrine. Oh, Yashiro-sama? So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa? The one guarding the holy land Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempt to sully the land with the dam construction.
想像してたよりたくさんの細具が収められているようね。
It looks like there's far more tools here than I thought,
で
but
も残念。
this is so
ど
sad.
れもあまり手入れがされていないわ。
None of them have been
状態
maintained.
が悪いのが悔やまれるわね。
How unfortunate that they're in such a state. Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceilings, and shelves. Takano-san speaking as if in a trance, she, infatuated by the various implements, filled the dark room. They weren't very festive-like or traditional, but instead, she was more. This was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or a carpenter. There was a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here, but it bluntly, putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. I'd imagine there'd be some more artistic things in here from the Heian period, but these are a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression began. My expression betrayed my dash hopes, and they caught on right away.
あら、面白くないかしら?
Oh, it's not to your interest for you?
俺は文系でも美
Is
術
this
系
not
でも
interesting
ない
for
ん
you?
で、
I'm not into literature or
あんま
art
り
or
こういう
so.
のを見てもよく価値がわからないです。
I guess I'm not into literature or art, so I look at this stuff, but I don't really understand its value.
圭
Haha.
一君はよくわかってないみたいね。
Keiichi-kun, you really do look like you don't get it.
無理もないけれど。
I guess that's only natural. What don't I get? Takano-san reached into a paper bag that she'd been holding this whole time, took out a worm scrapbook and began to
じゃあ、
flip through it.
圭一君のために昔話でも聞かせてあげようかしら。
Then just for you, Keiichi-kun, I'll tell you an old
この
story.
地方では一般的な昔話よ。
It's a common tale in this
図書
region.
館に行けば教育委員会推薦の本にも載ってるくらいにね。
I'll go to the library. If you could go to the library, it would even be on their recommended reading list. Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place. She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face belied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found faults with me being scared. I'll endure it for now and pretend to be calm.
いい？じゃあ、読むわよ。
Alright, I'll read it. After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly, like a kindergarten teacher reading picture book.
昔々、ある山奥の村にね、沼があったの。
Long ago, in a certain village in the mountains, there was a
そ
swamp.
の沼はね、底なしの深い深い沼でね。
This swamp was very, very deep. Some called it
地の
bottomless.
底の鬼の国につながっていたんですって。
People said it was connected to hell, the land of demons. The rumor said that it was deeper than the ocean and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, a bottomless swamp. Its name was Onigafuchi. Wait! I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifices sinking in the bottomless swamp. Could it be that swamp she's talking about?
ってことは、その村はひなみ沢ですね。
So then the village was Hinamizawa, right?
察しがいいわね。
You catch on quickly. I mean, to be fair, like,
そうよ。
why else would you bring that up? That's right.
当時は鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたけどね。
Though it's called Onigafuchi Village at a time.
鬼ヶ淵村。
Onigafuchi
物騒な
Village.
響きのある名前だな。
That's pretty inconspicuous name.
イメージもあったんでしょうね。
It invokes quite the image, doesn't it?
明治の頃に今の名前に改称されたって聞きました。
here the name was changed in the Meiji period. The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onigafuchi, which meant the demon's abyss. Wait, so the whole town was called the Demon's Abyss then? That's crazy. And the true name of the village, Hinamizawa, was Onigafuchi Village.
村人たちは鬼の国、つまりは地獄のことね。
The villagers belonged to the abyss, or to hell, in other
鬼の
words.
国とつながるという沼を崇めながら過ごしてきたの。
They lived their lives worshipping a swamp said to connect
で
it
も
to.
ね、
But then
あ
one
る
day,
日のこと、
whoa! Akuma? Demons began to appear one after another from the deep in the swamp. The villagers feared that hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do no more than hide themselves and tremble.
誰かが鬼を退治するわけですか？
So, did someone exterminate them?
残念だけど、このお話には桃太郎みたいな正義の味方は登場しないわ。
Unfortunately, there was no there's no Momotaro or Superman in this fairy tale.
じゃあ、
No
村を挙
soups?
げて戦う
No
わけで
soups
す
in
か？
the story? Then did they get the whole village together to
ま
fight
さ
them?
か、
Oh no, they would never
村
do
人
that.
たちに鬼と互角に戦える力などあるわけもない。
The villagers weren't nearly strong enough to fight on equal terms with the demons.
じゃあ、村を捨てて逃げるしかないですよね。
Then the only recourse would be to flee the village.
それも無理ね。
They couldn't do that either.
村
What
人
the
た
fuck?
ち
Then
に
what
と
can
っ
we
て
do?
も、村
To the
は
villagers, it was their
大切な
beloved
脅威だ。
homeland.
どんな恐ろしい
It didn't
鬼が
matter how
攻めてきた
terrifying the
からといっ
demons.
て、簡単に逃げ出せるはずもなかったのよ。
じゃあ、どうするんですか？
Then what did they do?
滅びるしかないじゃないですか。
Wouldn't they get wiped out? Then what did they do? Wouldn't they just get wiped out? Unable to fight and unable to run. All they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Then when everyone had lost hope, their god, Oyashiro-sama, descended upon
なるほど。
onto them. I see.
つまり、天からやってきたお社様が鬼たちをやっつけるわけですか。
So I see. So Oyashiro-sama came down from the sky, beat up all the demons. Then,
ケイちゃんは男の子ですね。
ooh, am I really a good boy?
すぐに腕力で解決する方に走るんですから。
You're such a boy, Kei-chan. You always jump straight to using force to resolve things. Shion sighed, a little annoyed, embarrassed, and I held my tongue.
お社様はね、
The thing about
やっつける
Oyashiro-sama,
とか、
he
そ
wasn't
う
a
いう
violent
暴
god
力
who would
的な
beat
神様
them
じゃ
up
な
like
く、もっと
you're
優
saying.
し
He
い、
was a kind god, filled
慈
with
愛の
love
ある
and
神様だった
benevolence.
の。
The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from heaven couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight. They simply prostrated themselves before his radiant authority. Oyashiro-sama urged them to go back to hell from whence they came, but the demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return.
鬼たちの世界にも厳しい戒律があってね。
The world of the demons too had harsh commandments. They claimed they had been banished from hell. Demons, who didn't have a place to go in neither hell nor in the human world. Of course, they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were sorry. As the villagers conversed amongst themselves, little by little, they came to pity the demons, and after talking to everyone at the village, they decided to live alongside them.
対
What
峙す
the
ると
fuck?
か追っ払うっていう昔話は多いけど、共存ってのは確かに珍しいですね。
Oh, this is actually pretty interesting. A lot of fairy tales had them being experimented or driven away, but you don't often hear one where they live in peace.
ですよね。
You're right.
鬼ってのは元来諸悪の象徴のはず。
Demons are supposed to symbolize all evil. I'll say this, I always love demon design, so for me, demons have never been like evil. I just enjoy like a lot of designs that demons get.
それとの共存を決めたというお話なんだから、本当に変わってます。
A story where they decide to live together with humans is certainly strange. When the demons first heard the village invitation, they doubted their ears but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of powers and secrets with the villagers.
お社様はその微笑ましい交流をとても喜んでね。
Oyashiro-sama was very pleased with this very happy
鬼
exchange.
たちが村人と分け隔てなく暮らせるよう人間の姿を与えたんですって。
This is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. This sort of like folklore about like living with demons apparently? Like what the fuck? Oyashiro-sama was very pleased with this happy exchange. He gave the demons the bodies of humans so that they would be indistinguishable from the
そして
villagers.
自らも地上にとどまり末永く両者の交流を見守ることにしたんだそうよ。
He himself decided to stay on the surface and watch over the everlasting peace between them. A land in which which man, demon, and gods live together. And gods live together. I had thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. A god may have meditations for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like that, where both sides live in harmony. I see. I guess it's kind of interesting.
普通のおとぎ話ならここで終わりなんだけどね。
Although the normal fairy tale
こ
ends
のお
there.
話は江戸時代にだいぶ加筆されたみたいで、まだまだ続く随分と長い話になってるわ。
It was revised quite a bit during the Edo period into the much larger story. After that, the humans and demons intermixed, and eventually there were no difference between
鬼の
them.
存在は結局村に溶け込んで
So the
消えて
demons
しま
ended
っ
up
た
disappearing.
ということですか。
いいえ、
Nope,
消えたりなんかしないで
not
す。
at all.
半分はしっかりと残ってたそうですよ。
Half of them stayed just as they were. The knowledge the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people call transcendent. They were well aware the power they had was harsh hearsay, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out of their lives in secrecy.
このお話がね、その後に派生するたくさんの昔話、フィクションの原点になってるの。
The story is the root of many derivative tales and pieces of
だか
fiction.
らこのお話がある意味基礎中の基礎、
It's the foundation, I mean.
ベーシックね。
The basis.
原点ってどういう意味ですか？
What do you mean by root?
村人たちは鬼の血を引いているという部分ですね。
She means the part about villagers having
Somebody-
demon blood.
この辺りに伝わる様々な伝承や昔話は、全部その村の人たちは鬼の血を引いているというのが前提になっているんです。
What I mean is, all the legends from here are based on the premise that the villagers are descendants from demons. Okay. There was a hint of amusement in Chion's face as she said that. She wanted to say that she too had demon blood in her. Is there any proof though? Maybe it's somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tale.
じゃあ前原くんは沼から鬼が現れて人間と交わったっていうのは本当にあった出来事だって信じてるのかしら？
Oh, my Barakun, when did you believe the demons really did come out of the swamp and bred with humans?
信じないわけじゃないんですけど。
It's not that I don't believe it, but when she said demon, she meant the ones from hell, but in ancient Japan, the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use involves the drifting foreigner theory. As the story goes, Westerners who were shipwrecked in the nearby seas had such markedly different customs that they were called demons. Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different. Their physique, their faces, and their skin color. In Japan, terms like red demon and blue demon evoke images especially of Westerners. Lacking in skin pigments, Westerners would sunburn easily and turn red. Being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing on the skin would look blue too. A handful of ancient aliens would drift into Japan and come under persecution, being called demons. They would flee into the mountains to survive, turn into bandit groups, and attack villages for food and the like. How does that explanation sound? Maybe it's a bit childish. That's actually an interesting take, honestly. I kind of like that. That's a pretty interesting take on that. Tanko gave me a weird smile when, having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis, I unconsciously followed it up with a self-deprecation. Don't do that. Don't do that. That was a genuine, like observation. You were definitely trying to, just figure this out, but I always hate it when you have to go like, oh, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. Still, she didn't smile as if it were to make fun of me. It's not ridiculous. There's a lot of people who subscribe to the drifting foreigner theory. Even so, no one actually knows what happened. Were they groups of foreigners who had turned to banditry? Or were they really demons who had come from the bottom of the world? Then Takano-san, which one do you believe? Truth of the matter aside, I'd rather believe the more fantastic explanation. It's more fun that way, isn't it? Her answer made her sound a wee bit like a romanticist. Here I thought she rejected unrealistic stories like that. Now then, this is where the fun begins. What the fuck? Takano brought an end to her storytelling and waited for a moment as if to tantalize us.
Huh?
Nani? Suddenly Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed. What's wrong, Shion?
ごめんなさい。気にしないでください。
I'm sorry, please don't worry about it. Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure nothing would happen, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject. I explained that half the villagers have demon blood. That blood they actually say that it's the blood of the kind of demon that eats people. Man-eating demons? That escalated quickly. Oh my god. Whenever they cut the music, that's always so unnerving. The blood still runs through the villagers' veins. Alright, hold on, let me see something. Smirk. Okay.
時折その血が眠りを覚ますと言われているわ。
They say that sometimes the blood awakens from its slumber. I thought the fairy tale had a happy ending, with the humans and demons living in peace, but it began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody
食
story.
用にだから
Well, they eat
何十
people.
年かに一度どうしても人肉が食べたくて仕方がなくなる周期があるんです。
They say that every decade or so, they can't help but want to feast on human
だからっ
flesh.
て村人同士で共食いするわけにはいかない。
The villagers can't eat other villagers.
彼らはその度に人里へ降り鬼隠しをしたと伝えられてるわ。
So when it happens, it's said that they descended on the human villages and conducted onikakushi. Oh, the demon, the way.
何ですか鬼隠しって
And onikakushi.
平たく言えば
Broadly
鬼
speaking,
たちによる
it's when a
誘
demon
拐
kidnaps
行為よ
someone. When a person is demoned
鬼
away.
ヶ淵村の村人たちが人里に押し寄せ
They say
哀
that
れな
villagers of
生贄を
Oniga
無理やり力ずくでさらったんです。
They say that the villagers of Onigafuchi would overwhelm unfortunate human villages in order to kidnap sacrifices. Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined that it might have been like what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lose their human reason. The villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villagers they loathe in the dirty world of the masses below. And then they kill and eat their
それ
sacrifices.
じゃあ鬼と何ら変わりないじゃないですか。
So they're no different from real demons
お
after
社
all.
様はどうしたんです
What did Oyashiro-sama do?
その村にとどまって人々を見守ってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ
Wasn't he supposed to stay in the village and watch over
も
them?
ちろんお社様も了承してたそうよ。
Oyashiro-sama had known it, of
だか
course.
ら鬼隠しは無差別ではなく神様が決めた生贄以外には
Onikakushi isn't indiscriminate. The villagers appeared never... Oh my goodness. Oyashiro-sama knew about it, of course. Onikakushi isn't indiscriminate. The villagers apparently never kidnapped anyone other than the sacrifices decided upon by their
ほと
god.
んどの場合は一人か二人だったって記されてるわね。
In the texts, it's usually one or two people. A village inhabited by those, both human and inhuman. It was like a heartwarming episode's color had inverted, like a negative film, revealing the painful and ugly truth.
そうして生贄をさらってきた夜にはね、
So on the nights when they stole away villagers,
哀れな犠牲者を美味しくいただくため綿流しの儀式が開かれて
they would feast on their kidnapped sacrifices, which is why the night came to be known as Watanagashi. Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale of Tanako-san was telling me.
渡流は確か
Watanagashi, well, wasn't
冬の間に使った布団なんかに感謝
it
するお
about
祭
giving
りじゃなか
thanks
った
to
で
the
したっけ
futons we use over the winter or something?
ケイちゃん
Kei-chan.
綿って言いません
Wata had another meaning, you
臓
know.
物のこと
It means entrails. Shion, who had been silent up until now, spoke
Wata?
up. Wata?
そういえば言うな
Oh yeah, I guess that's
魚
true.
の綿っていう
Like fish guts.
え
Wait, what? Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun time I had today and Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind.
渡流し
Watanagashi, so gut spilling? I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating.
そう
That's always an interesting thing whenever I like read anything Japanese, is when you get like these wordplay aspects to it. It's something that I will, like, unless I actually learn Japanese and, like, read Japanese, I would, as a Westerner, I will just never understand. I just would never understand the wordplay. I'm just gonna have to go with the fact that they're explaining it to me. That just sort of, like, works. Yes.
前原君の想像している通り。
It's as you imagine, my Baraku.
今でこそ綿流しは毎年6月に行われる。ちょっと早い夏祭りに過ぎないけど。
Right now, the Watanagashi festival might just be a somewhat early summer festival occurring every June, but it used to be
哀れな
different.
食材をさらってきた夜にだけ開かれた凄惨な人食いの宴のことだったの。
It used to be a ghastly cannibalistic feast held on the night the villagers had collected their unfortunate dinner.
嘘だ。
That can't be true! I had no real reason to say that, but I couldn't help it.
前原君はさっき綿流しは布団を清める儀式だと言ったわね。
My Baraku, you said Watanagashi is a ritual about purifying futons, right?
綿が詰まった布団って何を意味してると思うかしら。
What do you think the futon filled with cotton with wata represent?
布団は布団だろ。
Futons are futons. Futons are futons. They're
寝るため
beds.
の道具だよ。
They're things for sleeping
他に
in.
何の意味があるんだよ。
What else could they possibly represent? I was rattling on, desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san is describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. Futons, stuffed with cotton. If the cotton represents entrail in both pronunciation and meaning, then entrail-filled futons would have to be humans. Wow, okay, I get it.
ではリカちゃんがやった奉納演舞を思い出してちょうだい。
Why don't you think back to the offertory dance Rika-chan
リカちゃ
performed?
んがあそこで何をして
Do you know what she was doing up
わ
there?
からねえよ。
No, I don't. I didn't even get to see it, bitch.
第一、リカちゃんの演舞は
Yeah,
最後までちゃんと見てな
I
いし。
didn't even watch the whole thing anyway. Shut up.
ケイちゃんエキサイトしすぎです。
You're getting too worked up. Shion grabbed my ear, reminded me that this wasn't somewhere we should raise my voice. Even so, I still can't surpass this agitation I feel.
リカちゃんが持っていた祭事用の
He was
クワ
carrying a festival hoe.
もううすうすは気づいてると思うけど、あれは田畑を耕すクワではなく
You probably realized it already, but that's not a hoe for plowing
人間の
fields.
腹をこじ開けるための解剖道具なのよ。
That's a tool for dissecting human bodies. What the fuck? Even Shion's like, damn bitch, why are you being so creepy? I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I don't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I'd left. When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said, after what I seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futon with the hoe, cut them open, and put the cotton inside. She'd cut the cotton out one bite at a time and set it aflow. That's the kind of ritual it was.
魚の綿を取り出して三角コーナーに捨てるのを仰々しく儀式仕立てにしたってことね。
Broadly speaking, it was quite the bombastic ceremony where they'd rip out the guts and throw them into
そ
the
れで
basin,
儀式はおしまい。
and then the ritual was over.
その後はそれぞれの役割を持った村人たちがおのおのに肉を解体して美味しくいただいたって考えられてるわね。
It's thought that afterwards, the villagers, each with a different role, dismantled the flesh piece by piece and fastened upon it, and feasted upon it. At Takano's strangely happy giggle, I felt, for some reason, violent displeasure. Rika-chan, every day during our lunch break, she would take a rice pounding mallet into the schoolyard. She would work so hard, sweat bullets, to practice for an offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work, Takano-san disgraced it. Even though she worked so hard to practice
高
for
野さん
today.
ももう少し言葉を選んでほしいです。
Takano-san, I think you should choose your words more
ケイちゃん
carefully.
ナイーブなんですから、あまりからかわないでください。
Kei-chan is pretty naive, so please don't tease him too much. A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how the story made me
ご
feel.
めんなさ
Yo, this lady's voice.
い。男の子だから、ショッキングな話は結構好きかと思って。
I thought you'd like a story with that sort of shock value since you're a boy. Takano-san spoke without a hint of malice, and she smiled
この辺ま
gracefully.
で話を聞けば、ケイちゃんにもこの西宮殿の中にどういうものがあるのか理解できるようになってきませんか？
After hearing all of that, did you figure out what kind of stuff is in this storehouse, Kei-chan?
ほら、
See? Look. Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern light. There was... Mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. All of those interesting tools that I didn't understand how to use, they all suddenly took on new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first, they looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. Planes? However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these sort of tools before. Yeah, they came up in the Japanese history textbook. Yes, on the page introducing the Kaitai Shinsho, or the new text
こう
on
いうのは
anatomy.
ね、
These sorts of
医学の
things.
本場ドイツの文献の方がリアルに掲載されてるわよ。
They're printed realistically in the literature of Germany, capital of the medical world. These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools, therefore dissection. Everyone knows that in the Edo period they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustrations of the dissected tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplement. The things hung on the wall all looked exactly the same as those.
もっと怖い言い方をするなら、調理道具といったところかしらね。
If you want a scarier way of looking at it, think of them as cooking utensils. Hehehehe. Holding the lantern, the only light source in the room led us along the wall. She had only light, so I had to walk after her whether I liked it or not.
ほら、
Look! Takano-san illuminated a cold chain which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain itself was nothing unusual, but further along it was a metal fetter that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people.
ケイちゃん、
Kei-chan,
あれ、
look at that! Shion tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to a restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. Holy shit! My spine froze. My blood felt like it was churning into sherbet or a crawling up my back. On each of the joints there was things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close
多
them in.
分まな板じゃないか
It's
しら。
probably a chopping
犠
block.
牲者を拘束してこの台の上でお料理をしたんだと思うわね。
I think you strapped the sacrifice down and prepped them for eating. Holy shit. Yo, this lady is a menace. The words chop and block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there was many dark slices carved into it, as though from a knife or a saw. They were most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved these tools weren't just for show, they were used for their original purpose. If someone was strapped tightly onto the table, they probably wouldn't be able to move even a muscle. Their guts would be defenseless, and you'd take one of those entrails cooking knives lined up over there, stab them with it. And then you'd slice open their belly and dissect them.
話には聞いてたけど、 すごい。
I heard the stories, but this is incredible. Before coming in here, Shion mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside, but it seems to have exceeded her imagination.
まだまだあるわよ。
There. Still more?
どう？
How
老
about
人形館より面白いでしょ？
more fascinating than a wax museum, isn't it? Takano had a happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. Miss Mio Takano, person has nerves of steel. Are these bizarre grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I for one am not enjoying myself. I'll be frank, this was all too weird for me. Still, there was something even more horrifying than all this. That would be none other than Takano herself. Takano holding the lantern, giving off such a thin brim of light. If she suddenly turned it off, then what would I do when the next moment everything went totally dark? That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light, and anyway I was scared. At some point Shion had started holding onto my shirt sleeve. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That was minor sensation allowing me to feel the presence of an ally, here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air felt on my skin completely changed. These cruel tools lined up, all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible, once made to take away sacrifice's freedom, and some were made to efficiently dismantle and prepare the bodies for consumption. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that's now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details about what sort of terrifying reasons they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were obviously constructed in such a way that they could kill people. If that was the goal, then the person who you used them on would obviously end up dead. The kind of tools here, however, were different. The tools that were here, they were for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and grinding and for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. Actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrific ritual process, that would be nice, but they don't even die in the end. They remain in a state of hellish pain. Perhaps they were only being allowed to live. Only now in this moment did I finally fully realize just how terrifying the fearsome the difference was.
人ってね、
People, you see?
上手にやると結構殺さずに済むものらしいの。
Most of these wouldn't kill them if used properly. Takano, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking
魔女
smile.
狩りで有名な賭け、火あぶりなんかはすぐに死んじゃうのよ。
Burning at the stake, the famous method of executing witches, will kill the person
全
immediately.
身の皮膚が広範囲にわたって重度の火傷を負うと、組織の分解産物で中毒症状を引き起こし、重度なショックを併発しちゃうから。
When the body suffers extreme burns on the skin all over, the decomposition of the skin chemical makeup produces poison-like symptoms that cause an immense shock in the victim.
確かに、それに至るまでがギロチンなんかに比べればはるかに長いところに残虐性があるんだけど。
Though I suppose it's still very cruel compared to the guillotine. You have to wait far longer for that to happen. She described such horrors in seemingly medical ways. Shion immediately answered the question I had.
高野さん、看護師さんですから。
Takano-san is a nurse. There's a saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess that's true.
ところがね、
Oh, and also,
ローマの時代の処刑方法にね、網焼きというものがあったの。
there's a method of execution in Rome where they would grill the person,
バーベキューと同じに、
just like
金
barbecue.
網で挟みつけて炭火でじっくりと焼いたんです。
They would cover the person in wire netting and slowly cook them over a charcoal fire. To think, the memories of when I went to day camp with my family would come rushing back now, of all times, so vividly. That's what it was
どう
like.
いうわけか、なかなか死なないらしいのよ。
Apparently they would die too easily for
も
some
のの
reason.
本によると、一昼夜かけて片側が炭化するくらいこんがり焼いても、まだ意識があって流暢に話をしたなんて記述も出て
Oh
くる。
god. According to one source, even if they roasted one side of a person to a crisp, for an entire night they would still be conscious and able to speak fluently. That's insane. You'd grill someone for a whole day and they'd still be conscious. It's said that Rome, famous for their executions, thought of plenty of ways to execute someone while having the victim stay alive for as long as
その
possible.
中にね、
Among
お腹を
them,
開いて腸をウインナーみたいに引っ張り出して
there was one
レンチで
method
引っ
where
張
they
り
would
上げ
open the
て
guts,
晒し
pull
物
out
に
the
する系があったんですって。
intestines like sausages, pull them up with a winch and put them on public display. Okay, you're just getting a kick out of this. Shiono is behind me, clinging to me. Listen, lady, you're really enjoying this. Not just because she was scared. She was protecting her
臓
stomach.
物を引っ張り出すなんて聞いただけでもすぐに死んじゃいそうでしょ。
You would think someone with their intestines pulled out would die instantly, right?
でもね、
Actually,
丁寧に優しくやるとね、
as long as you do it tenderly and
意識
thoroughly.
がはっきりとした状態のまま腹渡を引きずり出すこと
Apparently, it's possible to pull them out while the person is still conscious. I felt sick. I felt a sick feeling in my stomach. It was like the organs were coiled up just from Takano's stare.
ウィンチで引っ張り出すっていうのはなんだか
Though pulling them out
応
with
用方法だけど
winds was rather exaggerated
も
method.
っと野蛮に裂いた腹から臓物をちぎっては投げちぎっては投げという
In a more barbaric way, they might slice open the gut and cut the intestines out and throw them
そ
everywhere.
んな恐ろしい系もあったんじゃないかって十
Quite
分に考えられない
imaginable that they did dreadful things like that too, isn't
で
it?
も処刑者には意識があるの
However, those being put to death were conscious.
それは痛い以上に恐ろしい体験なんでしょうね
It must be more terrifying than painful. Lady, what's wrong with you? She spoke with pleasure as if she'd come here on sightseeing trip. I heard Shion gulping multiple times near my ears.
ひなみ沢のいえ鬼ヶ淵村の渡流しもそんな感じだったのかしらね
Perhaps Hinamizawa, or rather Onigafuchi village, did something like that for the Watanagashi festival. Listen,
耳を澄ませば
if you try hard,
来るような気が
can't you hear it?
しない
I wanted nothing more than to not hear anything at all. So why? Why only at times like these do I begin to hear things I shouldn't be able to? Takano-san had realized she scared Shion and I enough at this point smiled smoothly. Then she turned on her heels, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we'd even further away from the light. Shion and I, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along her field trip through the ritual storehouse. Yo, this lady... What's up with this lady, bro?
軽く一周できたかしら
We better find out what is up with this lady. She might just be a true crime fan, to be honest. The way this is turning out, she's probably just a fan of true crime. I suppose we've seen a bit of everything.
面白いところでしょ
This place is interesting, isn't it? She says, raising her lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason it felt like I was able to see all the horrible tools at once.
ケイちゃん、
Kei-chan, look up. Shion stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck. What? I couldn't tell because it was dark, but there was a lot more tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They all looked like they were made of iron bars, but then I figured it out. Cages. 4 cages. They were all very small. Was that supposed to be 4 F-O-U-R? I think it might have been. Crab cages just for one, like a casket. If you got locked up in there, no, you wouldn't get locked up inside. It was another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. And so many big and large things of all shapes were hanging down. Takano-san mentioned of execution by grilling crosses my mind. We weren't just surrounded on all sides by these terrifying instruments. Things crowding the ceiling were just hanging over our heads.
ヨーロッパの拷問道具にこういった鳥かごがたくさん登場するわね。
There are many of these sorts of bird cages among European torture
日本
devices.
にもあったなんて驚きだわ。
I'm surprised to see them in Japan as well.
ケイちゃん、あれ、中に入ってない？人？
What? Is there something in there? A person? A mummy?
どれ
Where? Shion desperately pointed to one of the many human-sized bird cages hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't tell which one she meant. Being in the dark, there wasn't any way to tell if something was there in the first place.
私には何も見えないけど。
I don't see
見
anything.
間違いじゃないの？
You sure you're not seeing things? Shion didn't seem convinced, but with the means to confirm for ourselves, we didn't do much but wonder.
これで前原くんにもなんとなく信じられるようになったんじゃないかしら。
Maibara-kun, after seeing this, have you come to believe it all?
ひなみ沢に伝えられる
The countless terrible rituals passed down in Hinamizawa? It's got nothing to do with believing in them. Now that I've been shown the real thing like this, there's no possible way to deny it. Even the nation of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. Didn't it have its own era of hellscape, like tortures, feasts because of the religious suppression and things of that nature? Hinamizawa itself had such a period. It had much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunt, that was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events. And in this age, nothing that abnormal would ever happen. That must apply to Hinamizawa
中
as
世の
well.
暗黒時代とかがそうだったように、ひなみ沢にも暗黒時代があった。
Just like the Europe had its dark ages,
そういう
Hinamizawa
も
had
のな
one
んだと
too.
解釈します。
That's how this should
本
be
当にひ
taken.
なみ沢でこういう恐ろしいことがあったのだとしても、それは大昔の出来事なんです。
What's in the past is in
今
the
暮らしてい
past.
るひなみ沢の人々とは何の関係もないことです。
It didn't have anything to do with people living in Hinamizawa right now.
前原くんは本当にひなみ沢が好きなのね。
Maibara-kun, you really like this village, huh? It didn't sound like she was making fun of me. Takano-san gave me a light smile.
でも、高野さんはその風習が実は現代にも残っているんじゃないかと思って研究をしてるんです。
Takano-san, you're researching whether those customs survived into
そ
the
うでしたよ
present?
ね。
You're right. Shion suggested something that made my heart leap into my throat. Are you telling me that all these horrible things are still going on even today?
これ本当に内緒なんだからね。
What I'm about to tell you is a secret, alright?
シオンちゃんは理解のある人だから話したけど、他の村人には聞かれたくないの。
I told you, Shion-chan, because you're an understanding person, but the other villagers don't want to be
下手をしたら
don't want to hear
罰
it.
当たり者ってことで袋叩きにされかねないんだから。
If things go awry, I could be ganged up and punished. Shion Fin flashed a devilish smile, as if revealing in the immortality of it.
前原くんも内緒にしてね。
Maibara-kun, you could keep it a secret
知
too.
られたら
Okay?
私、お社様のたたりに遭うか、生贄にされちゃうかするかもしれない。
If this gets out, I could suffer Yashiro-sama's curse, or be made into a sacrifice.
たたりなら、今年はどんな死に方をさせられちゃうのかしら。
If it's a curse, then I wonder what kind of death it'll be this year.
生贄なら、鬼ヶ淵の沼に生きたまま沈められちゃうのかしら。
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna take a piss real quick. Time for the poop that took a pee. Alright, I think we're getting close to the end, which is good because my voice is getting tired. Holy shit. Reading all the dialogue and the narration is like really tiring. Chapter's been pretty good so far though. Sorry, just eating something real quick. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting like little section. It definitely builds upon the previous part, like part 1. If it's the curse, then I wonder what kind of death it'll be this year. If it's a sacrifice, then I'll be thrown into Onigafushi Swamp while I'm still alive.
そういえば今夜よね。
It is tonight, you know. So I do know that Ryuki Shio 7, he's kind of like an architect, like not an architect. There was like the two terms, like a gardener sort of writer, where he sort of writes as he goes along. He doesn't plan it too much. And I know he like looks at feedback from people and like really affects his writing. So I'm very curious to know just how much this sort of like cannibal, like sort of like direction was planned in like the first game. I wonder if he had like maybe an outline and he sort of like explored this, because this does explain certain things of like the first game a little bit, or at least gives it a different slant to it.
お社様のたたりがある夜
The night of Yashiro-sama's curse. Takano-san said, bringing her face right up close to ours, as if to say that if she had the choice, she'd rather suffer the curse. That was what she seemed to be implying. Takano took a fairly worn notebook out of her paper bag, then began to flip through its pages. There were all sorts of references and newspaper clippings attached to them, and it had all manner of things written inside. The letters were very small and bunched together, so I couldn't tell at a glance what it was about.
本当は国会図書館で当時の新聞を探したいんだけどね。
What I'd really like to do is search through the National Library of newspapers from that era,
ほら、
but
ここ。
here it is. A photocopy of a page from some book was slid into the notebook, and it too was written in small, tight lettering. Like the other pages, I couldn't tell what it was about just by
こ
glancing
れ
at it.
は実際にあったお話よ。
This is a story that
明
actually
治の終わ
happened.
り頃にね、
It was around the end of the
鬼
Meiji
ヶ
area.
淵村で身元不明の惨殺死体が発見されたんですって。
They discovered an unknown mangled corpse, the victim of the murder in Onigafuchi village. An old newspaper clipping attached to the page spoke about something that was no mere rumor or
当
fairy
時の
tale.
警察の資料がほとんど残ってないそうだから、
We don't have
不伝
most
と記憶によ
police
るものだ
documents
け
from
な
that
んだ
time
けどね。
anymore, so it's all based on oral tradition and memory. See?
これ不鮮明だけ
It's
ど、
not very clear,
明
but
治
it
の頃
looks
の
like
新聞
a
で切り抜き
cutout
みたい。
of a newspaper from the Meiji era. Never before seen, there was a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity. Could it have been the work of a demon? Being a copy of a copy, it was very hard to make out, but it was more than enough to make me feel strangely tense. Near the end of the Meiji era, in the Onigafuchi village, a mangled corpse was discovered. The identity of the corpse is unknown. It was even in a state where it could be identified in the first place. It was missing a head, and each limbs were separated from its body. Skin had been peeled off the entire body, and there was markings that implied terrible torture in every place imaginable. Not only that, the belly had been cut open by a sharp knife with the entrails completely dragged out. The police immediately began an investigation, but since they couldn't even determine the identity of the victim, much less the criminal, finding answers was extremely difficult.
どういう状況かわかるかしら？
Do you understand what it must have been like? I couldn't imagine such a strange sight, even if I tried. This was the first time I was ever thankful for my lack of imagination.
被害者は生きながらにして全身の皮を剥がれ、あらゆる拷
The
問
victim
を
was
受け
skinned
て
while
いじ
still
め殺
alive,
されたんです。
underneath all kinds of torture, and was killed
そし
brutally.
て死後にもさらに遺体を分解解剖と残虐の限りを尽くしたのではないかって。
The author here also thinks that even after death, the remains were divided and discussed even further. The epitome of inhumanity.
私はどの工程も生きているうちにやったんじゃないかって思ってるんだけどね。
This lady might just be my ex-girlfriend. She's just obsessed with true crime. I'm of the opinion that the entire process was performed while the person was still alive.
前原君はどう
What do you think, 前原君? Bitch, I don't care. You spoke in a way intended to make me imagine even more vicious things. As my brain was already far over capacity, however, there was no way I could imagine anything more brutal. Then when I broke my gaze from Takano-san, those strangely shaped weird tools were all around us. I wonder if you can faithfully reproduce the mutilated corpse discovered but at the end of the Meiji era with the tools found in this place. I want to deny it. I don't want to admit that something so terrible could happen at all. Even so, there was a strange, so terrifying... They were so strange, so terrifying, these tools. And as if they had seen through my attempts to escape from them, they did nothing but ridicule me silently.
なんだって言うんですか?
So that incident, what was it in the end?
鬼ヶ淵村の恐ろしい習慣は明治以降の近代。
Regarding the Onigafuchi village dreadful customs, they survived into recent post-Meiji era days.
昭和初期くらいまでは残ってたんじゃないかって結んでるわ。
And that perhaps they lasted until around the beginning of the Showa period. This corpse at a glance appeared to have been brutally killed after a period of torture. In actuality, however, it was a pitiful sacrificial remains of a man-eater's terrifying feast. The corpse was just leftovers. It was so fantastic, so strange that it didn't feel real. Was this an extension of the legend too? It happened in the Meiji era, though, which is just too recent to be called a legend. Also, these newspaper clippings right here suggested...
でも本当にあったとしたって昔のことですよね。
Even if it really happened, it was a long time
明治なん
ago,
て言っ
right?
たらそれこそ100年くらい前の。
I mean, the Meiji era ended 100 years
た
ago.
ったよ。たった100年前のことよ。
That's all? Only 100 years
それ
ago?
にね、昭和に入ってからだってあるんだから。
It kept happening even after the beginning of the Showa
終
era
戦
period.
直後に騒ぎになった。
Like the uproar around the post-war.
人肉缶詰事件。
Canned flesh incident?
ごめんなさい。
Oh, I
この
apologize.
話はタブーだったわよね。
That story was taboo, wasn't it? Takano-san immediately stopped talking as if worried about Shion. Shion briefly looked somewhat angry, but that expression soon disappeared.
今高野さんなんて言いました?
The canned what? The canned flesh incident? Takano-san, what did you say?
人肉缶詰って
Canned flesh? Just then, there was a huge creaking noise. Everyone whipped around to look. It was Tomitaka. He had opened the door slightly.
驚かせちゃったかな?
Did I startle you?
あ、ここ。素敵な拷問道具の宝庫よ。
Oh my god, this lady's insane, dude.
僕は遠慮させてもらうよ。生来ね、こういうのは苦手なんだ。
Yeah, I'm bad with these sort of things by nature. Dude, you gotta get out of here. Whatever this lady's offering you, bro, just get out of here. Takano-san held her stomach and had to muffle her laughter as if she wanted to make a comment about his
それよ
masculinity.
り、
In
演
any
舞と
case,
セレモニーが終わって、みんな沢の方に降りていったよ。
the dance ceremony's over and everyone's
あ
going
と
down
何
the
分も
street.
しないうちにお祭りは終わっちゃう。
The festival will be over in minutes.
あら、いけない。前原くんがあまりにも聞き上手だから、またお話三昧になっちゃったわ。
This bitch is weird. I'd really rather not mention me in a place
ジ
like
ロー
this.
さんは表で待っててくれるかしら？私はちょっと写真を撮るわね。本当はいくつか道具を持って帰りたいんだけど、それはさすがに無理そうだからね。
Alright, so she's just taking pictures. Takano took a camera out of her paper bag and began to snap photographs. She looked like she was having fun, like she was on a scavenger hunt.
ケイチ君
Nani?
も出るかい?
もう十分に見ましょう。もういいだろう。出ようぜ。綺麗な空気が吸いたいよ。
同感です。出ましょう。
Debasho. I did feel a bit hesitant at leaving Takano-san by herself in this darkness. When I thought about it, though, I realized that whatever kind of evil spirit and ghost lurking in the darkness, none of them could hold a candle to how scary she was. Even if a phantasm were to appear, she'd be overjoyed and flash the camera at it. It seems like Shion shared somewhat rude mental image. We exchanged glances and smiled painfully. We left Takano there, bathing in her strobe of camera flashes, and decided to go leave the ritual storehouse. Wow, immediately the happy music. Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone down to the stream, so their voices were very distant. The voices of the bugs, on the other hand, were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to this place.
どうだい？面白かったかい？
Tomitaka gave us a somewhat mischievous grin. You should have been able to tell by looking at how pale our faces
富
were.
武さんと一緒に留守番をしてればよかったです。
Yeah, you should have kept watch. You shouldn't have gone inside. Tomitaka-san's laugh was delightful. That it wiped away our dark feelings.
しおんちゃんはどうだったかな？怖かったかい？
一応心の準備があった分怖くはなかったですけど、でもやっぱり実物は迫力あります。
Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing how I was in a way worse state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. As Tomitaka grinned candidly, my mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself.
高野さんはおとなしく見物してたかな？ほら、彼女子供っぽいところがあるだろう？宝の山を前にさぞや興奮してたんじゃないかと思ってね。
Both Shion and I laughed and left that as our answer.
見るだけならいいんだけどね。こっそりと何かを持ち出したり、いじくりすぎて細具を壊したりしないかが心配なんだよ。
Right. That's quite possible. She is alone in there right now. It might feel for something small and easily concealed. Hide it in her pocket.
やりかねないです。
Yeah, I can see that. Shion said what I was
本当に
thinking.
何も壊したりしなかったかな。なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえた。僕は不安で。
Someone jumped up and down.
ごめんなさい。フィルムがなくなっちゃったわ。二郎さん、フィルムが余ってたら分けてくれないかしら。
Takano suddenly appeared while we were talking about her, taking everyone by surprise. Tomitaka-san smoothly grinned and responded as if nothing had happened. He was pretty mature.
あ、もう予備のフィルムは切れちゃったよ。
I'm out of spare
申し
film.
訳ないね。
もういついかなる時でもフィルムを残しておかないと決定的スクープ写真なんか撮れないわ。仕方ないわね。
Oh my god, this lady just does not want to go home. Tomitaka-san stretched out his hand apologetically. Without film, we're done here. Takano-san seemed to have given up because of that too. We checked carefully to make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned the heavy padlock we'd left beside.
高野さん、何も持ち出してないだろうね。
You didn't sneak anything
失
out,
礼
right?
ね。
How
そこ
rude.
まで子供じゃないつもりよ。
Clack. Tomitaka-san set the padlock back in the way it was before. From the courtesy glance, it didn't look like thieves had snuck in at all.
よし、僕たちも沢に行こう。綿を流すところくらいやらないとお祭りに来た意味がないよ。
Tomitaka-san spoke brightly, urging us all on, setting cotton afloat down the stream. I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to double meaning. Takano-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse.
もうこれっきりにしてくれよ。十分に知的好奇心は満たせただろう。
まさか。むしろ新しい興味を惹かれるような今日ので、これまでの仮説がこれで今後の調べ方がだいぶ変わってくるんだから。
Wow, she's so indomitable. Her curiosity really is something else. Still interesting in all this through and through. Whoa. I haven't seen this background before. We descended the stone stairs, and all the people crowded the stream came to interview. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see people receiving cotton that had been cut out for them, then wishing upon the cotton and setting it afloat down the stream. The festival was already over.
まずったな。綿流しの一番いいところを撮影し損ねたよ。
あら、まだ遅くないわよ。私が行って流すんだから。
Not too late, I'm gonna go set
私
some
を取
floor.
ってはくださらないのかしら。
Takano-san, with an impish expression, brought her head to Tomitaka-san's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for Tomitaka-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of a woman.
じゃあね、前原くん、しおんちゃんも。
僕たちは今からでも沢に行ってみるよ。君たちも一緒に来るかい？
まさかお二人の邪魔なんてで、どうぞごゆっくり。
Oh my god. Shion waved her hand to them with an expression that just as impish as Takano-san's. Tomitaka-san, on his part, seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps.
疲れちゃいました。
同感だな。
Same
俺も
here.
疲れた。
ケイちゃんは綿流し初めてなんですよね。私なんか気にしないで行ってきてください。私は疲れちゃったんで、人混みはちょっとパスしておきます。
Yeah, if we're gonna go now, we barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony.
お姉たちがケイちゃんのことを探してるかもしれん。行ってきてください。
あ、そうだ。ミオンたちと別れたまま、それっきりだったな。探してると悪い。
Then Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face and put her index finger to her lip as if telling me to keep it a secret.
お姉ってすっごく嫉妬深いんです。私がケイちゃんを独占してたことがバレると、いろいろうるさいんで、今夜のことは秘密にしておいてくださいね。
Keep tonight a secret? Don't say things that are so embarrassing.
そういう意味だけじゃ
Yeah,
ない
that
で
does
すよ。
seem what were you guys doing?
今夜、私たちがしたことを思えば、今夜起こるかもしれないお社様のたたり。私たち4人が最有力候補なんですからね。
The loosening threats of tension became taunt again. Shion, however, burst out laughing.
じゃあ、私はお姉に出くわす前に退散します。今日は本当に疲れてるから、お姉とやり合えるだけの体力はないですし。
シオンって、ミオンと仲がいいのか悪いのか、よくわからないな。
I can't tell if you get along with her or not.
仲、いいですよ。
Though, as she said that, her vague expression explained that there's a lot of oddities in the
俺は
relationship
一人っ
between
子だか
them.
らよくわかんないな。せいぜい仲良くしろよ。
はい。余計なおせっかいと受けたまわります。それじゃあ私はこの辺で。ケイちゃんも急いで行った方がいいですよ。本当に綿流しが終わっちゃいます。
Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her back. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony of the Watanagashi festival below me.
でも本当に、あの音は何だったんでしょうね。不愉快というか、気味が悪いというか。
What was that sound?
え
Huh? Yeah,
何の音だった
Yeah, what sound?
音ですよ。
The sound.
ドタンバタンって。
You know, the banging
うる
noise.
さかったじゃないですか。
It was really loud, wasn't it? I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her
ごめ
too.
ん、シオン。はしょらないで、最初から説明して何がうるさかったって？
ケイちゃん、気にならなかったんですか？
It didn't bother you? When all said and done, it was like we were speaking two different
シオン、
languages.
冗談抜きで、初めから説明してくれないか。音がどうしたって？
ケイちゃんこそ冗談抜きで、本当に気にならなかったんですか？
Okay, yeah. Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were staring at each other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held the urge to shout at her, and asked politely one more
も
time.
う一度聞くからな。質問は俺からだ。
She nodded
じゃあ聞くぞ。
silently. Here it goes.
音がしたって何のことだ？
ドタンバタンって なんだかどこか遠くの板の間で子供が跳ねてるような。
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, because Tomitaka-san said I heard a noise up and down. So did only Shion and him hear it?
本当に気にならなかったんですか？
気にならないも何も。そんな音いつ聞こえた？
When did you
俺
hear
は何
this?
も聞いてないぞ。
ちょっとケイちゃん、それ本気で言ってるんですか？
Shion said as if she didn't understand my plain and simple answer. Pressed me further, her expression serious. I had no clue what she was talking about, but if Shion's acting so like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent chills down my spine.
さっき最後伝の中で高野さんと一緒に見て回った高野さんが昔話を始めた頃からかな。少しずつだんだんとちょくちょくと。
She heard a bang sound, like a child jumping in a distant
嘘
floorboard.
だろ？最後の最後で怖がらせるのはなしだぜ、おい。
I didn't hear anything at all. In fact, it was so utterly silent. There was that my own heartbeat was almost deafening.
ケイちゃんこそ怖がらせないでください。なんだか高野さんの怖い話に合わせて音を立ててるようで、私ずっと薄気味悪かったんですから。
The chill rose from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold and crawling up my body. When it reached my head, my mind froze
ケイちゃん
over.
も高野さんも全然意にも介さない風だったので、私も聞こえないふりをずっとしてましたけど、聞こえましたよね。何度かはすごく大きな音でしたから。
Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different. And you've got to be kidding, look. In the storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet. Listened to terrifying old stories. The whole time Shion had been hearing sounds that we couldn't hear by herself. Should that make Shion, who heard it, tremble? Or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at all. I didn't know the answer to that at the time. For now, Shion seemed to have made her decision before I did.
なんだよ、突然。
What are you laughing about?
引っかかりましたね、ケイちゃん。嘘ですよ。嘘。
はあ？
Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile seemed somehow artificial, and it actually made me feel worse. Then, after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbyes phrases, she left almost like she had started running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but she couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. And now that I think back, Tomitaka said something like that, didn't he?
なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような僕は不安で。
Tomitaka-san, the most neutral party present at the time, had said he'd heard something. Then that noise, it was real? The banging sound. The sound of, as thought as a child, was jumping up and down of some kind of floorboard far away. Oyashiro-sama's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano-san, Tomitaka-san, Shion, and me. The bustling of people sounding further away than I would have liked, and the sound of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and yet I could go back there. I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then all of a sudden, I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to launch.
ケイチ、見つけたなのです。
It's Rika-chan. When I turned around, Miona and Rena were there too.
やっと見つけた。あとはさとこか。
今年はみんなはぐれちゃったね。
A child. A child jumping up and down. Don't tell me it was Satoko. Everyone got split up this year.
ちゃんと合流場所を決めておきたいな。
そうだね。 やっぱりお祭りはみんなと一緒でないとね。
I listened to Mion's happy declaration with a little bit of guilt.
圭一は僕の演舞は
ああ、ちゃんと見てたぜ。最後までちゃんと頑張ったな。ミスもなかったし。
うんそうだよリカちゃん。あんなのはミスのうちに入らないよ。
I tense up and realize I made a mistake of my own. Mion slapped a hand on my shoulder a little roughly. A gross sweat broke out over my whole
ケイ
body.
ちゃんはやった？
Did you do it too,
綿をもらっ
Kei-chan?
て沢に流した？
You haven't yet, right? Is that what I could feel her saying? Without the courage to tell more lies, I lifelessly shook my head.
あれそうなの圭一くん。早く行かないと終わっちゃうよ。
ごめん。初めてのお祭りだからさ。よくルールがわからなくて。
そうだったね。ごめん。
Mion took my hand and we started walking down the stone steps.
ねえケイちゃん。
なんだよ。
What is it?
シオンには会わなかった？
My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion sensed my surprise through my
い
head.
や、でも、姿を見たよ。でも、ミオンとそっくりだからな。ミオンだったのかもしれないし。
そん
What
な
kind
に
of
間
answer
違
is
えない
that?
でしょ？服装だって違うんだから。
We're wearing different clothes.
そうだよな。
Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me.
しょうがないなシオンは。まああいつのことだから放っておいても大丈夫かな。
Mion's expression returned to her former usual smile. We continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling on my hand along. Oh, whoa, that's such a interesting way to end the chapter. Holy crap. Damn, that was a 3-hour stream? I did step away for like 10 minutes, but damn, that was a long-ass chapter. Okay, I'm a little tired, so I think I'm just gonna call it for today. I think these chapters might be much longer than the other chapter. So I'ma see next time we come back if it's worth me reading the whole chapter, or maybe just stopping like halfway through. Because that was definitely a long ass read. I will say this: if I don't read I kind of stopped reading the dialogue after a while because I just like my throat was just getting really tired. So I think I might actually just go back to not reading the dialogue. I think it might be too much, especially if these are gonna go for like 3 hours basically. But yeah, other than that, that was pretty good. That was actually some really good horror moments in there. And yeah, I always knew that Ryokishi, he like kind of like writes things as he goes along. So I don't know how much of this was sort of like improvised to like accompany the first part, because like this whole cannibalism aspect, it definitely feels like pretty new. So yeah, that's pretty good. I guess I'll just go. Okay, I'm just gonna press continue. Okay. Gonna exit the menu. Okay. But yeah, other than that, thank you. Thank you anyone who stopped by, anyone for watching. That was a really good part. And I'll catch you guys next